Okay, welcome to the Client Focus Connections conference call. We do this every month. We do it the second Wednesday of the month, and we do it at noon Central Time. I'm not sure how the rest of you feel about this. We've been asked by a commercial wholesaler in Texas to consider changing the time so that more agents could come to this call. So we're going to kick that idea around here the first quarter and maybe change it. I guess I'd like to know your input on that. But we do appreciate everybody that's coming. We never know who's going to come to the call. We're going to create a fan club, which I'll talk about at the end of the call. So we want to get started here. Patrick Slattery he's an independent insurance agent. And we wanted a little bit different twist because he sells supplement insurance policies, and he's fairly new in the business, and he's starting to get some success here with Client Focus. So I wanted to give Patrick an opportunity to share his story with everybody, and then I know we have Greg from California on the phone. And Greg, I'd like you also to kind of share the farmer side of the story, if you're okay with that.
Sure.
So let's get started. I think another person joined us. If you want to go ahead and identify who you are and what company, where you're from, that'd be great.
My name's Cole Pilgrim. I just came in with Farmers Insurance.
Okay, and what state are you in, Cole?
Texas.
Texas. Okay, welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Yep. Again, we do this every month, and the idea behind this is we're sharing information, and we want you as agents to share information with other agents. And if you look at the mile marker, we do this every month. We've been doing this for almost 2 years now. Is that hopefully you're going to pick a golden nugget from this conference call and learn, from somebody how to move your business forward. So, Patrick, you're on the line, correct?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so if you just want to share with the group kind of why you got in the insurance business and how long you've been in it, and tell your story.
Sounds good. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. Like Dean said, my name's Patrick Slattery. With Slattery Insurance Solutions, I specialize in voluntary benefits, and I've been doing this about 3 years now. I've been independent for just about 6 months. The reason I started the insurance business is a lot of my family has been in the healthcare business, and I've always been around healthcare, and I really wanted to be able to help as many people as I could, whether it be selling a policy or, selling a solution, giving a person some kind of a discount card or something like that. It's kind of always what I've wanted to do. My story with Client Focus is I've been getting calling done for me for about 3 months, and I've gone through a few changes in my calling processes. The first month or so, I wasn't really getting the results that I wanted. So I spoke with my caller, and, we changed things up a little bit. Instead of going for exact appointments on the spot, I had my caller set up meet and greets. The first time after we switched these things up, she had done a calling session for me, and she set 6 meet and greets. And out of these meet and greets that she was setting for me, I started noticing that 2 out of 3 of these appointments were turning into employer presentations. And in the insurance business, that's kind of what we want. We want to be in front of the decision makers. Basically, what Steph was doing for me was getting the no's out of the way. You really got to be willing to work with your callers. If you're not getting the results you're hoping for, you got to be willing to change your approach.
I know that you're fairly new. First of all, you're fairly new, being going from maybe a captive company to an independent company. So you've had that struggle of getting that started. But then when you came with Client Focus, you also there was a struggle in the beginning of it not working in the first part of it. So I want to talk a little bit more about that scripting and the meet and greets, and kind of what you're doing with that compared to what you were doing, the last couple of years with the other company that you were with.
Well, the way I started out with the business is, it was a captive company, and, they give you just a generic script. They want you to go and knock on as many doors as you possibly can, cold calling, and, try to get results out of that. some days you're out driving around and you do 30 stops, and some days you don't even get any yeses out of that, and then you're wasting a tank of gas, and what do you really get out of that day? Where if you have somebody calling for you, you can knock a lot of no's out of the way. Is that kind of what you're going for, Dean?
That's what I was going for, and then the transition of to the meet and greets, because again, it wasn't working for you in the beginning, and then I think you were used to going out and meeting these people, and I think that's where the combination worked, where you were willing to get out of the office, take this meet and greet, and let's talk about that for a little bit, kind of the scripting on that, and share with them, what that was about and the holidays and how you dealt with that.
Well, when I switched things up, it was, I believe, like the week before Thanksgiving, and I told Steph, my caller, hey, call these people and, wish them a, happy Thanksgiving, and see if we can stop by, the following Monday and, just greet the business owner. And like I said, every meet and greet that I did, sure, there was some of those that, were just trying to get stuff off the phone, didn't want anything to do with us. But the 2 out of 3, they wanted to sit down with me, and they wanted to go over things, and they wanted to meet me because, I was here locally, and they really liked that.
And I think you mentioned to me that you had enrolled 4 new customers last month?
Yeah. In December I opened 4 new accounts, totaling about $7,000 in production. In the voluntary market, that's really, that's a nice thing. There are 4 smaller groups, a few hotels, and a nonprofit. Also next week, a call that Steph had made for me. They have a competitor carrier, and they have a total, production of 10,000 in there right now. They didn't have a good relationship with the competing carrier. And we basically have their blessing, and they're endorsing us to go in there and to meet with all 31 of their employees. So, it's huge. I can't explain how awesome the results are from Client Focus.
And I think that's the point that both of us are trying to make here, is that you're fairly new to the business.
Right.
You are fairly new to Client Focus, and within 90 days, you're looking at a really good turnaround, and especially coming through the holidays also.
Right. It's really nice to have that extra chunk of change when you got to buy Christmas presents, let me tell you.
Okay. A couple things that I've seen Patrick talk about is just maintaining your, this has nothing to do with Client Focus, but just being an agent. Patrick has a nice whiteboard in his office, a 4x8 whiteboard, and I want you to tell the agents what you do with that whiteboard, because I find it very interesting.
Well, I always like to put, positive quotes every day. I start my day with a positive quote. Like today, my quote is, all that man achieves and all that he fails to achieve is a direct result of his own thoughts. You got to be positive in everything you do, because people can sense if you're not positive. Also, I like to set my goals out right in front of me and put them nice and big, because if they're in front of you, you're going to achieve those goals. It's just nice to have that up in my office where I can see that every day. So. And
you also have your production on there too, kind of clients that you're following up, some of your key hot.
Yeah, exactly. You know who you got to call, when you got to call them, so you don't miss out on those leads that that Client Focus or that you yourself get.
Okay. So what I want to do now is, Patrick, appreciate all the information you shared with us. I just want to pivot because we do have majority of farmers agents on here, and I think, Greg, you're on here, right?
Yes.
And, Greg, I would like you to just kind of share your story with the other agents that are on here and see if it coincides with the same thing that Patrick is saying.
Yeah, it does. And ironically, we keep a whiteboard in our back room also.
Okay.
Because we want to track production. We want to make sure we're on pace for the goals. And as far as the quotes, my district manager, who's no longer around, years ago, and I still have the original paper he wrote it on, that I keep it on my desk, and it just says, do the things you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do them. Mm-hmm. If you just keep that in mind, it does keep you on track.
Mm-hmm.
But the same thing like with Patrick, using Client Focus, Yeah, my first 30 or 60 days, I didn't think I was getting